It's March in our nation's capital, which has welcomed the CAA with open arms this week. Quarterfinal day of the Credit Union 1 CAA Women's Basketball Championship rolls on from the Care First Arena. After earning a double bye thanks to a 20-win season, the second-seeded Campbell Camels begin their week this evening with hopes of hoisting a trophy come Sunday. Tonight they'll face the 10th-seeded Hofstra Pride, who pulled off the biggest upset to date this week with a thrilling win over Towson last night. And hi, everybody. I'm Matt Janitz. Alongside the point guard, Christine Coramado. We will hear from Amanda Poole coming up in just a little bit. Christine, they say March is all about moments. Hofstra certainly provided one last night.
Oh, what a night for the Hofstra Pride, winning in epic fashion after trailing late in the game. Campbell is the 2 seed. They won their last 3 regular season games, but they might want to be on high alert for some of that Hofstra magic that we've seen in this tournament over the last few years.
As we take a look at our players to watch, we zone in on the author of that moment for Hofstra, sharpshooter Emma Von Essen.
Well, we all know what happened last night. Emma Von Essen was the hero for her Hofstra team. She hit a variety of jumpers throughout the game, but she knocked down maybe the biggest shot of her life when it counted the most, calling it the best feeling in the world. She gave all of the credit for her teammates for their defense and then for finding her for the game winner. Oh, and don't forget, she also knocked down 3 threes the last time these two teams played.
She will look to do it again tonight. On the other side, Campbell makes its debut with CAA Rookie of the Year, Jasmine Navarre.
Well, the top rookie in the CAA, winning Rookie of the Year, has been one of the most consistent scorers for the Camels. She had 17 points against Hofstra the last time these two teams played, but what might be most impressive is her defense. She's one of the tops in the league in steals, often turning defense into offense. Excited to see what this young player is going to debut in the tournament.
Not much she can't do. She will look to carry the Camels as we are trying to figure out who we will crown in the Capital. Quarterfinal continues. Campbell and Hofstra up next.
Credit Union 1, the official banking partner of the Coastal Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking
and an expansive surcharge-free network of 130,000 ATMs from coast to coast.
Discover better banking for all at CU1.com.
Click, clack, the sound of disruption. It settles in. Controlled, precise. Click, clack, the sound changes direction. But there's no crash, just separation. And every time you hear it, something ends for you and starts for us. Click, clack. It's no longer just a sound. It's a warning.
Back at the Care First Arena, Credit Union 1 CAA Women's Basketball Championship night session of our quarterfinal. It'll be Hofstra against Campbell coming up. Let's look at our bracket to see how things have unfolded to this point. The top half of the semifinal is set. 2 close games, but Charleston able to rally back, beat William and Mary. Stony Brook in a back-and-forth contest, taking down Monmouth. And now 2 more spots in the semifinals wait ahead. Let's look at tonight's Credit Union 1 keys to success.
Well, I think it's going to be really important for Hofstra to pressure the ball, just like they did last night against Towson. It made a big difference, but they also need to finish. They got to the rim a ton, but they didn't finish yesterday. They need to improve on that. And then for Campbell, I think they need to control the boards, dominate the glass, and then the perimeter shooting, they need to knock down a couple threes, I think, tonight to spread out that Hofstra defense.
Credit Union 1 is the official banking partner of the CAA. Let's welcome in the third member of our crew, Amanda Poole.
Thank you, guys. Well, defense is tradition at Campbell. The Camels' identity has been defense for almost a decade. They're the only team in the nation that sits top 25 in 8 of their last 9 seasons in scoring defense. Right now, they lead the CAA in field goal percentage defense, blocks per game, and scoring defense. Head coach Ronnie Fisher says that defensive effort stems from the players they recruit with intention, players that want a team effort, because you don't get the glory from getting low and bending your knees. You get the glory from scoring. And this is an elite defensive team that plays selflessly on the court.
Good stuff, Amanda. Most impressively, Campbell able to do it without fouling. We talked to Ronnie Fisher this week. How can you play the type of defense Amanda just alluded to and still pick up amongst the fewest fouls of any team in the CAA? It's not an easy thing.
It's not, but it's being disciplined and it's being fundamental in what you're trying to do on the defensive end of the floor.
Here's the starting lineups for the Campbell Camels. Navarre obviously leading things as a rookie. They've got another all-rookie performer in Noah Kanate, who's come on second half of the year. But it is a deep Campbell team. It
really is. It's a nice mix of some experience with the rookies, but I'm really interested to see how the young freshmen will play in this tournament environment.
Gigi Boone, the orchestrator, the senior voice in the starting lineup as well for the Camels, will be very important in trying to keep everyone calm. On the other side, for Hofstra, it was a 9-win season. They went 6-12 in conference play, up and down to say the least. At one stage, the Pride endured an 8-game skid, but they won 5 of the last 8 in the regular season. They got the win yesterday, and Magaliko was a big part of that inside.
Well, I thought her length really disrupted Towson, and they put her at the top of that defense, and I'd like to see that today if Campbell can get by her length at the very tip of the defense.
Chloe Sterling, meanwhile, led the way. She had 17 points in that victory against the Tigers. So Hofstra looking to pull off another shocker. You can see the pride. They believe the enthusiasm in that locker room after the win yesterday, booing this group. Meanwhile, Campbell trying to get back at it after waiting in the wings for their opportunity. You earn the double bye, but then you have to show some patience to get out here on the floor. Nakate to tip it up for the Camels against Magaliko for Hofstra. We are underway. Campbell begins with a basketball.
We saw yesterday Hofstra really mixing up those defenses. They had started out in the zone, but looks like tonight they might be starting out in some man-to-man.
Campbell will run through their sets. They are very patient but methodical offense, missing inside the freshman Kanate, but she gets her own miss and resets for Campbell.
I think overall the size of Campbell down low, they might have the advantage there.
Boone looking to turn the corner. Oh, she had Kanate wide open. They still end up getting it to her. 5 to shoot as that one's chased down, and finishing was Navarre.
And you see why, again, she was the rookie of the year. No panic in her. She just swung the ball through and went right to the rim. I like how she squared her shoulders up to get it off the glass.
You saw the officiating crew, an excellent one here today. NCAA tournament experience on the CAA Women's Basketball Championship stage. It's brought to you by Credit Union 1. Hofstra, its first possession, a backdoor look. Magaliko able to go reverse.
Yeah, I think that's something that Hofstra did really well yesterday. They moved without the basketball. They got to the rim, but they were constantly moving.
Campbell also constantly moving without the basketball. Very regimented sets. Boone off the bounce. Had it deflected away. It'll stay with Campbell. 13 to shoot here for the Camels.
That was really good rotation and help defense by Magaliko, constantly moving on that back line. She saw right away, turned her hips, and rotated over.
The grad senior from Mozambique is such an important part of this Hofstra team here this year. Felt in the high post, 6 to shoot. Gets it back along the perimeter. Trying to show the range. Can't do it. Offensive board. And the follow for Gigi Boone.
That's just going up and getting it. Sterling was there, but she didn't push back on the box out and giving up some size down low.
And now the takeaway is Boone in the midst of everything, but gives it back as she ran into a teammate. Gooden has it rejected by Kanate.
Well, I like the assertiveness of Gooden, but kind of going into the land of the trees down there, just the length again of Kanate down low. She is going to be a force. Watch what she does too. She just stands her ground. She knows she has the height advantage, doesn't even have to jump.
50th rejection of the season that ties her for 4th all-time in program history. Gooden will try the perimeter, and that works out a little bit better for the Pride.
Well, Hofstra shot the ball very well late in the game. From the three especially, they shot 57% last night. That was a little bit of a step in, but if they can knock down some long perimeter shots, that's going to open up that defense.
Tucker drawing 2 defenders, finds Felton as the ball movement continues for Campbell. They lob it inside for Canate. Axel in front, though, as Magaliko got a piece. Pride in transition. Sterling, the pull-up. And this time the rebound cleared by the Camel.
Yeah, it was a good job by Tucker to get her hand up and make her shoot over top.
Felton was looking to push. Hofstra getting back in transition. As Navarre will steady things to the front. Playing out of position as the point guard this season. Errant feed, but Boone able to retrieve it. Nice crossover move, then the step through, can't get the roll. It is out of bounds back to Hofstra.
Both of these teams like to get to the rim, whether it's putting the ball on the bounce and getting there yourself or getting it in on a bounce pass. A lot of movement on that back line, but the guards are turning the corner and trying to get to the rim.
It's that old school video game Frogger. Zigzagging her way through all the traffic in the paint. Just could not quite get the finish.
You're aging yourself there, Matt.
That's a Seinfeld reference. All the crossover, driving to the bucket. Carter slipping it off to Magaliko.
I thought there was good patience by Carter. She didn't panic when she picked up her dribble. And again, Magaliko moving without the basketball, seeing the space for the cut and taking it.
So Hofstra up 2. Remember, they got out to the fast start yesterday. A 6-0 lead against Towson. Kind of setting the tone. A foul away from the ball. Michaela Carter called for the bump. Here's Danielle Santos Atkinson, so proud of her team. Her 7th season in charge of this Pride program. We mentioned the roller coaster nature of the campaign. She said we had a lot of difficult conversations at the midpoint of the season, but she understood what her team could take, and she pushed all the right buttons.
Well, you can plan for a lot of things, but you can't always plan for injuries. And I think just the positive attitude that she displays and her coaching staff really does rub off on the players.
Tucker got Garrett to fall down defensively. Teardrop wouldn't go. Offensive board, and the follow off the mark. And then a tie-up, and the arrow going to give it to Campbell. So Sierra Alexander off the bench into the game and into the fire, but could not quite convert at the rim as it goes back to the Pride. That's Ronnie Fisher in his 10th season in charge of this Campbell program. He is averaging better than 19 wins per campaign.
Yeah, just consistency. When you talk about the team consistency, how about the coaching consistency?
And then losing it out of bounds as it goes off the fingertips of the Camels. That one deflecting off of Tucker. Good defense from Sanaya Garrett.
And talking about that consistency, you know, Campbell Camels, one of those programs that hasn't so far lost a lot of players. They keep their players and are able to build that program.
Felton leaving it inside, and Alexander off the bench able to finish.
And again, just great looks, good bounce passes inside too, where your post player can handle it.
Turning the corner, Gooden floating it towards traffic, and it's taken away by Boone.
That was phenomenal rotation on the weak side. Looked like Magaliko was going to have a layup, but in comes Boone flying in the rotation, working hard on the weak side.
Navarre could not turn the corner. She tried off the ball screen. Picking up her bounce at a bad spot was Felton. Good job by Tucker to come rescue her. Tucker to the foul line. Picking up her dribble. 4 to shoot. Do they see it? Felton elevates and gets the roll.
We're seeing early here in this game that the Camels are not panicking. When that shot clock is winding down, they're just making plays.
Carter directing traffic the other way for Hofstra. Carter quietly had a big game, some timely shots in that 4th quarter against the Tigers in the upset. Junior from Canada going to hoist straight on, and the rebound grabbed by Tucker.
Not sure if that's the shot Hofstra wants to settle for, but I like that they're trying to spread that defense out.
Perhaps you could knock down a couple, might set up some slips, but Campbell's done a really good job of rotating, as you alluded to. Here's Tucker in and out of the deep three.
Well, both of these teams like to use on-ball screens. We saw how successful that was for the Pride last night, but Campbell will do that as well. They like to screen the ball.
Good and missing from deep. And one and done has been the story early for Hofstra.
And those ball screens, you can do so many things off of a ball screen.
There's one, it frees up Tucker, and she knocks down the jumper.
Great footwork there by Tucker, swinging to her right, the 1-2 step, and using that dribble to really power her shot up.
The largest lead in the early going for Campbell, 4-point cushion. Been a while without a whistle, more than 2 minutes of uninterrupted action. Lob inside, Magaligo gathers, elevates, and able to convert.
What a catch in the post. I mean, she had to go and get that, and then her ability to stay on balance and get the shot up.
It is a crowded scores table right now as we've gone a long time. 6 players from the two teams waiting to check into the game. A deflection, Magaligo able to get the steal, then throws it away. Boone gets it back for Campbell.
That's why you always want to throw those outlet passes up to the side and then let the guard go to the middle. When you throw it in the middle, it gets a little discombobulated.
Tucker starting to feel it here a little bit, looking to create. Navarre comes to help her out. 10 to shoot as Boone gets it back. That calming influence for the upperclassmen, looking for contact. And the whistles are silent. Kareem heading the other way, all the way, got it blocked. Alexander, the rejection, and we are going up and down the floor. Campbell waited all week for the opportunity. The number 2 seed with a double bye, and Olivia Tucker trying to take advantage. Campbell's up too early.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the Coastal Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking,
and an expansive surcharge-free network of 130,000 ATMs from coast to coast.
Discover better banking for all at cu1.com.
At UNCW's Cameron School of Business, we're all about action and experience. From applied learning opportunities to our study abroad programs, you'll get unique experiences that set you apart. Our distinguished Cameron Executive Network will mentor and prepare you for ultimate career success. Classes are taught by scholars and leading industry experts, ensuring you get the knowledge that truly matters. Visit us at csb.uncw.edu.
Join us for Jersey Mike's annual Day of Giving on March 25th, where 100% of sales will be donated to support Special Olympics athletes.
It's a great way to support the athletes. Like me. It's basically like doing this. Or this.
And all you have to do is get a sub, like this guy. Join us March 25th for Jersey Mike's annual Day of Giving.
Okay.
Be a sub above.
After 5 years of military service, Staff Sergeant Zaragoza is still setting goals.
Come on, Vincent.
But mostly for her son.
You got this.
She was ready for more family time. She was ready for the reserve.
The Credit Union One CAA Women's Basketball Championship is brought to you by Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the CAA. Visit cu1.com to discover better banking for all. And by Jersey Mike's, proud supporter of CAA Women's Athletics, a sub above. The beauty of Washington, D.C., it's always moving fast in our nation's capital. And the action has been fast and furious. The Pride, after their upset of Towson yesterday, hoping to work similar magic this evening. But Campbell's bigs inside, making life difficult defensively and offensively.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the statistics right now are pretty even between these two teams, but I do feel like down low, Campbell has really had the edge.
Hofstra does have 6 points in the paint, but 4 of those on second chance opportunities. Meanwhile, Campbell just relentless inside. 8 of their 10 points have come from the lane. 15 to shoot here. Is operating off the bounce. Neve Brown, and the turnover gives it back to Campbell.
Well, I thought Unwi was really shaping up for the basketball. You could see her numbers. Thought she should have got that entry pass as she had her defender right on her back.
Diane Unwi, the senior out of Levon, Texas. One of the reserves that are going to be so important today is Hadley Dillon off the bench, missing the open 3, and Sterling wants to run.
And Sterling got that rebound and kind of looked over her shoulder. Is anybody coming with me? All she saw was the basket. Good job by the Camels to get back on defense.
Here's Von Essen, the hero yesterday, kicking out to Garrett, and a 3-second violation as Unway never left.
Yeah, Gooden was working really hard down there with her defender on her back, weaving and going from side to side, and then just as it looked like she was turning the corner to get the layup, the 3-second call.
Under 100 seconds left in this first quarter, 2-point Campbell lead. Hofstra goes to the zone, so the Camels get it to the high post, and a 3-second violation the other way. Sierra Alexander too long in the lane.
And it's really interesting because I thought yesterday in a few of the games there were some people kind of camping out in the post through all the games. And it's very interesting. All of a sudden we're getting a couple of 3-second calls here on each team, almost as a warning back-to-back saying, hey, get in, get out.
Well, you know how that works. One goes against you, the other coach is begging for it immediately the other direction. The 3 is short from Unwi. Long rebound leads to a break the other way.
That was a quick shot early in the shot clock there.
Wide open inside. Alexander could not convert, and back to Hofstra it goes. She was almost too open.
Well, Alexander was patting her chest there saying, my bad, but I think when she jumped to the basketball, I don't think she realized where she was. She was a little too far underneath the rim, had to get around. She might have even had time for a power dribble to square herself up.
There was no one in the zip code. And so Hofstra able to avoid the bucket. They get it back. Chance to Tiger take the lead here in the final minute of this opening quarter.
Here you see Hofstra kind of with a 1-4 high. See what they do, run some screens for Von Essen.
Pride were able to score yesterday with Tulsa, but you feel like if they're going to have a chance today, this has to be a low-scoring game. Von Essen making some shots certainly would help. She goes inside here and a pick in the pocket. Kanate the steal for Campbell.
What a dig. Way to get her hands in there and swipe that ball, because that looked like Mogolico didn't need a lot of dribbles to get to the rim, but the one she put on the floor, Kanate got her hands on it.
Battle looking back at her head coach, Ronnie Fisher, who points to the shot clock, only about a 1.5 second differential, so he wants to drain some clock. Tucker's got it, 6 to shoot. Tucker draws 2 defenders. Felton 1 to shoot. They don't see it, and it's a shot clock violation.
It's really interesting because this game is very fast-paced but low scoring. I feel like there should be some more points.
Ronnie Fisher telling Jasmine Felton in no uncertain words, shoot the ball. He has all the confidence in the world in her, wants her to have that confidence as well. And they will regroup going into the second quarter. Hofstra hanging in there, the number 10 seed. Down just 2 against second-seeded Campbell. 10 minutes into this Credit Union 1 CAA Women's Basketball Championship quarterfinal. Getting set for the start of the second quarter. Hofstra trailing by 2 against Campbell. I'm Matt Janis with Christine Mata. Prior playing, not a surprise, it's close. Let's hear from the third member of our crew, Amanda Poole.
Thank you, guys. Close games have been a hot topic for Hofstra this season. 7 of the Pride's losses have come down to 1 or 2 possessions. Yesterday, head coach Danielle Santos Atkinson saying that her team could have quit over and over again, and they didn't. They got stronger, they got more connected, and continued to fight, saying they knew if they stuck together, they could cause some chaos in March, which they've already done.
Good stuff, Amanda, and they did not start the clock as we begin the second quarter, so Mulligan will redo.
And 3 of those one-possession games were against Towson.
They were able to get the win in the one that mattered most and cause some of that havoc in March. We alluded to it a little bit earlier. Daniel Santos Atkinson said when they went on that 8-game skid, so many of them close losses, it was a focal point of the season. And they came together, they had a lot of conversations, and she looked to her seniors, and they needed to step up and start to hold each other accountable, but without pointing fingers.
And winning those games, that's a difference in a great season and a not-so-great season.
Great shot off the bench, immediately making her presence felt, Emerson Thompson.
And that's what this tournament's all about. You need those pieces to come in. You need bench points to win a conference tournament.
Thompson, 32% three-point shooter, but when she gets going, look out. Smart player, too. Her dad, a high school coach. Down on the timer here. Hofstra got the defender in the air and drawing the contact. And going to the free throw line will be Neve Brown.
A great job by gathering herself, coming to the jump stop, seeing the help coming, and then she goes up strong. Watch what she does here. Well, this is the play before, but Campbell, look at the great high-low opposite. You got to get it to the opposite side of the floor and make that defense move. No time to close out there.
You get the inside touches or the high post touches. That's where this Campbell offense can be so effective. They're efficient inside, so with their size, defenses have to collapse.
Well, I think that's why they've been so successful. It's those fundamental things. High-low opposite, move the ball quick, make the defense move. It's always back to the little things.
Brown, a 75% free throw shooter, did not make her Pride debut until January, but finished strong down the stretch. Double figures in 4 of her last 9 games. And it's been a big part of the turnaround for this Hofstra team. As we said, they lost 8 in a row, but they were able to win 5 of their last 8 in the regular season. You added that victory over Towson last night. All of a sudden, this is a team with some real momentum.
Yeah, and she played half the game. She played about 21 minutes last night. She was 50% from the field, 6 points off the bench, and she was a key piece when they needed it the most.
Back to the zone for the Pride. They trail by 4. Campbell with the basketball. A minute into the second quarter. They get it to Dillon. The high post. Back out to Thompson. Can't make another. Long rebound. Corralled by Magaliko.
Yeah, that was almost a setup because they've been going high-low opposite. They've been going opposite, so they wait for the defense to slough in and then go same side.
Carter so quick, able to chase down that loose ball. Sterling passing up the 3, going amongst the trees and using the teardrop.
Just great recognition by Sterling. She saw that it kind of parted and she had enough of a lane to get the floater.
That thing looked like it had helium in it. It floated so high. Felton off the ball screen, got a hoist, and the air ball.
Kind of bailing Hofstra out from going underneath the screen. You always have to be careful with that. You got to wait and see. But with Sterling, again, she just has a knack for finding the open space. Look, the closeout too high on the right shoulder. So what does she do? She takes that first quick step and kind of takes that lane. You got to take what the defense gives you.
Man-to-man defense for Campbell. Gooden curling off the screen, spinning through the defense for the layup and the foul.
That's what we saw Gooden do yesterday. Her ability to get to the rim. She was in double figures, and a lot of the points were looking like that. Watch how she spins really hard. She curls off the screen, sees and goes, and then boom, gets the defender on her back and enough strength to get it up and over. You can see from this angle just the 1-2 step. And look at the spin move.
Yeah, Thompson in the blender trying to recover off that movement. and then even gets the roll on the free throw line. And for Alarise Gooden, just so happy to be out there. Dealt with so many injuries early in her career. Finally healthy this season, has made the most of the opportunity.
Well, and at this point, so many of these players just want one more game.
Dill in the high post was trying to get it high-low. Good work from Gooden, though, to front, and then calling for Magalico to switch back. As Hofstra in the man-to-man here, 6 to shoot.
Great hedge by Mogalico.
But Felton beats him with a jumper.
Yeah, there was a lot of action going on off to the right. So then Felton just says, you know what, I'll take care of this right now and knock down the perimeter shot. That's what the Campbells need. They need some of those outside shots to go down.
On the crossover, Sterling drawing the contact. And he'll head to the line for a pair. Chloe Sterling, so effective off the bounce. But back to that last jumper from Felton. We talked about Ronnie Fisher begging her to shoot the ball in the first quarter. That confidence showing off there.
Yeah, you saw Magalico really hedge hard, and then she tried to turn back in, and Felton might have had to dump in, but she took care of business. If you don't close out high enough, got to get those heels up, close out on the top shoulder.
It's funny, Felton's such an efficient offensive player. In fact, last year, Christine, she was second in the country in field goal percentage on two-point shots. She hit 67% from inside the arc. Still right around 60% this year, but she has expanded that range and showing it off with a three-point touch on that last trip.
And what that does is it makes the defense have to play you honestly.
Such a big deal, opening everything up for Campbell's attack. A Campbell team that made it to the championship game a year ago. They obviously want to go a step further this season. This is their first stop this week. Up a point, 7.25 left to the half. Felton looking to drive. Leaves it inside for Kanate. Beautifully done.
I'm really enjoying the subplot here with Kanate and Mogalico down low. They're really battling for position.
Gooden keeps that dribble alive, goes all the way to the other side of the lane. She circled the paint. Meanwhile, the hands from Battle, and
I think the official was saying that it bounced off her knee.
Oh, so a kick ball they call. It goes to Campbell.
Yeah, a lot of dribbling in that possession, but not really getting to go anywhere. It's got to be that good balance of penetrating those gaps, but then moving the basketball.
Campbell's up 3. Tucker, catch and shoot. And an excellent box out there on Wee off the bench. Has been an active presence here in this first half. They tried for the back door. Von Essen wasn't going through, and Dill gets the takeaway.
Yeah, a little bit of a force there now. 2 rough possessions for Hofstra, turning the ball over both times.
Felton feeling it, but short that time, and Von Essen flat-footed rebound.
I think Hofstra needs a good possession. They've had a couple turnovers here. I think you need to use the shot clock, spread out the floor.
Von Essen back door. It was knocked away from Garrett. She sticks with it. Look at the hustle, and a foul is called against the Camels.
Yeah, I do think that is the right call. I thought Garrett got displaced when she was trying to go to the basketball, kind of got shoved, and or she would have been able to pick that up.
First foul on Felton. That's a 4th team foul on Campbell in this second quarter. So Hofstra a chance to get some opportunities at the free throw line. They'll shoot the final 6 minutes of this half. On the other end, they don't have a single team foul in this second quarter.
Yeah, they shot the ball really well from the free throw line yesterday, and that ended up being key down low. And I think if you can get some of those opportunities, especially in a 3-point game leading into the half, you got to attack.
Michaela Hodge just into the game. Collided there with Von Essen, who got her dribble back on the deflection. Step back 3. Can't hit. Collision as it was Garrett hitting her teammate Hodge, and is in discomfort as she came down awkwardly.
Well, she jumped so high, and I do actually think it was Hodge that she was so high that she might have even gotten a shoulder in the gut there. That just looked really rough in real time.
So Danielle Santos-Atkinson, the Hofstra head coach, along with the athletic training staff for the Pride, will come out and check on Sadaya Garrett. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania native, transfer out of Jacksonville. You see that last jumper from Von Essen and how high she got.
Oh, yeah, see, she gets so high, and then the box out from Navarre, and she just kind of almost, not that she got the wind taken out of her, watch how high she gets here. She jumps up and then just right in her stomach and rib area, it looked like. Hopefully she'll be okay, and maybe it just knocked the air out of her, kind of holding her hip as she's walking off the floor here.
But able to walk off under her own power, which is a good sign. Kid that grew up in Philadelphia, old school. Big Allen Iverson fan, even though he probably retired before she was born.
The answer.
Campbell looking for answers. Their lead just 3. 5:40 to go in this first half. Trying to create the rookie, Navarre, drawing the contact on her way to the rim. This will be caught against Gooden, who doesn't like it.
Well, I think that was good recognition by Navarre because Gooden was a little bit too high, and she was opening up her body to give her that lane. So if you end up over-opening a little bit, you have to then sprint and beat her to the spot. If you ride her hip, you're going to get called.
Good news for the Pride, only the first on Gooden. Lob entry goes to Kanate, kicks it out to Navarre, missing the 3. Carter the long rebound.
Good inside out and relocation, though, by Navarre.
Campbell struggling from deep, just 2 of 10. Hodge an inside touch, wants to go on the freshman, out to Kareem, who misses the 3, does not follow her shot, and Dill able to get it as a result. Tucker on the move. And they'll get organized, or will they, as Dill somehow kept that alive in the front court.
Little helter-skelter here.
And it seemed destined that possession was going to end in a turnover as it's taken away by Kareem.
Yeah, I think here's where Hofstra needs to reset a little bit, get a really good possession before the timeout.
Neither team has scored in 2.5 minutes until Michaela Carter rattles home the 3, and we are tied again.
Well, she had 3 of them yesterday, so her hot shooting is continuing from beyond the arc.
Navarre trying to turn the corner on Carter instead of the fadeaway, and Kareem amongst the trees securing the physical rebound.
That one felt like a little bit of a force. Didn't think she had a clean look there.
Carter wants to go on Navarre, got her in the air, but the bank unkind. What a rebound from Hodge. Gooden buries the 3.
Unbelievable effort from Hofstra to keep that ball alive.
It's that Hofstra magic, playing together and playing hard. Campbell has seen the Pride go on a 6-0 run, a more than 3-minute scoreless drought for the Camels. Boone will look to change that. Gives it to Tucker with 7 to shoot. They force her to the left. Tucker into the help, and it's an offensive foul.
Excellent rotation from the weak side to get into position. Sprinting in was Gooden, just getting there for her help.
Gooden takes the charge. Meanwhile, Carter making it happen offensively along with Hodge, setting Gooden up for the 3. Pride up in the second. Credit Union 1 CAA Women's Basketball Championship quarterfinal round is 10th-seeded Hofstra leading second-seeded Campbell 21-18. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. I'm Matt Janners with Christine Coramata. Christine, you were talking about the Hofstra magic in this event last night, and you motivate me to do a little bit of research. So Danielle Santos-Atkinson is in her 7th season in charge of this Hofstra program. One of the years, the tournament obviously was wiped out due to the pandemic. But aside from that, during her career, 6 times as the underdog in the CAA tourney, they have won a game, including a 13 seed over a 5 in 2024 and a 12 seed over a 5 in 2023. They got another double-digit upset last night, 10 over a 7. You're not kidding. There really is some magic when it comes to the pride.
That is some good stuff right there, Matt. I mean, it's just amazing what Hofstra has been able to do when it comes down to tournament time. It's been fun to watch.
And you might say, well, shouldn't they have been better in the regular season? But as we alluded to earlier, this has been a Hofstra program that has been besieged by injuries throughout Danielle Santos-Atkinson's tenure. Every team gets banged up. They have lost so many key parts. As Kareem missing the 3, and the rebound goes to Campbell.
And that's what you love. You know, there's 2 philosophies with the conference tournament. You have the teams that have done it all year, and you want them to be rewarded for their good play. But then you have the teams that get to reset and wipe out all the records and just go for one more trip to try to keep playing with your teammates.
Felton denied the entry feed as Magalico high in the air to take it away.
I've just been so impressed with Magalico's defense. The way she's able to jump in passing lanes, rotate, get those rebounds. It's all because of her effort.
Good in passing it to a spot. Sterling made that right as she earns the foul at the free throw line.
And even with all those injuries, you know, you look at the guards on the floor, especially Carter, Gooden, and Sterling, and the chemistry they have. The reason why that pass gets through is because you get used to playing with your teammates and you just have that unspoken, I'm going to come to the basketball, and that trust of your teammate to go get it.
Sterling, the Kennesaw, Georgia native, transferred in from JMU. Second season, remember, lost most of last year due to injury. In fact, even missed a little time early this season due to that injury. She wears the big knee brace on that left leg, a torn ACL. She's still not really 100%, but she's getting closer and closer. And boy, you see her making some plays here on this big stage.
Well, she definitely has some confidence against Campbell. You know, she had 14 the last time they played, and it was one of her games where she just felt so confident putting the ball up.
Well, Hofstra has Campbell out of sorts a little offensively here. They've got to find a way to get organized early in the clock. Battle with 10 to shoot into the corner to Boone. Down to 5 on the timer. Battle going to have to do something herself, looking to create, and a blocking foul with 1 to shoot, and that's number 2 on Gooden.
And that's a little tough to swallow there for the Hofstra defense as a whole, because they got it down to 1 second, and Gooden was riding her. I'm not saying it wasn't a foul, but it's one of those things where you played such good defense for 29 seconds and just needed a little bit more, especially with the height advantage. Not many people that you're going to have the height advantage against, but you did there.
You see that dialogue between Battle and Ronnie Fisher. That's the way he coaches. It's always a conversation, working you through the situation, teaching you about what you could have done and what you'll do next time. Handoff goes to Tucker. 10 to shoot, picked up her bounce at an awkward spot. Boone going to have to create again late in the clock. 4 to get one up. Boone passes off to Tucker. And the deep 3 won't go, but the hustle play. Alexander grants a reprieve to the Camels.
Hofstra's playing a lot of defense right now. We had the foul on Gooden with 1 second. Now another 30-second set, and then Campbell gets it back again.
Remember, the shot clock resets to 20 on the offensive board. It actually went to 30 on the shot clock initially, so that's the reason for the stoppage. They'll put 17 on the timer. Alexander will sit down. Kanate comes in. Those are interchangeable parts. It was Alexander starting early in the season. She got hurt, missed a few games. Kanate came into the starting lineup. That seemed to click for the Camels. And Canate's been there ever since, but they play about the same number of minutes. And Canate getting the foul as she went to work inside against Magalico.
I think Boone surprised her with the pass a little bit, too. I don't think she was expecting to get it at that time, but still had the wherewithal to turn around, face up, and then eventually draw the foul.
Good news for Hofstra, only the first foul on Magalico. And Campbell, a chance to go to the free throw line and end what is a 5-minute, 37-second scoreless drought, and they do.
Yeah, I think her presence in there, early in the game when the first few minutes of the first quarter, she was, demanding a lot of attention from that Hofstra defense. And I think Campbell needs to get the ball down to her a little bit more. Even if she's not taking the shot, just get it through, maybe play that inside-out game.
Both teams could use seeing it go through the basket. We haven't seen a field goal in this game in almost 3 minutes. Trying to change that, Sterling, but one move too many, loses it out of bounds back to the Camels.
Yeah, I think Sterling was kind of like, wait, I had it. It was such a great hesitation and had everything but the shot at the end.
Canate showing those ball skills along the perimeter. Now back into the post where she belongs. Navarre waves her off. Here's Canate outside. They're doing a great job on that ball screen, and the tip leads to the steal. Magalico got her hands on it. A deflected pass picked up by Sterling. Carter let the defender clear. That'll set up the offense. It results in a wide open look. Brown unable to convert. Dill grabs the rebound.
Bodies are starting to fly. Both teams going so hard after the basketball on the carom.
8-second differential here. Shot game clock. Kareem got a deflection. Dill able to retrieve it. Nakate, as Hofstra was looking for a walk, out to Dill. Short with the three, and Kareem the rebound. 8 seconds left until halftime. Sterling, better go here. 2 seconds. Does she see it? At the buzzer, buries another!
Hofstra magic, Matt. It could be real.
Chloe Sterling dribbling away the clock, knew exactly how much time she had over the long arms of Canate, and the Pride looking for another upset, leading by 5 at the half.
The women's basketball regular season is in the rear view. Another thrilling year of upsets, overtimes, and buzzer beaters in the books, which means it's time to unveil our postseason award winners and all conference selections as voted on by the league's head coaches. Starting with head turners on the all-rookie team, freshmen making big-time plays in their collegiate debuts. From spark plugs to diffusers, take a look at the all-defensive team, a unit of chaos causers and pressure cookers. Now for the top 15 players highlighted through our all-conference selections, starting with the all-CAA third team honorees. Let's show you the second team selections. Moving on to the CAA's first team, the conference's top-tier talent on full display this year. Drum roll please, as we announce our major award winners. It's the Campbell freshman, Jasmine Navarre, earning Rookie of the Year. The freshman pacing the Camels with 11.5 points per game. Navarre reached double-digit points in 19 of her 31 games, including a season-best 24. She also averaged 2.2 assists and 1.8 steals for Campbell. The Defensive Player of the Year is Grace Isabula, the elite forward, setting herself apart on the glass, ranking 34th in the country with 7.2 rebounds per game, while hauling in 4.7 offensive boards per game, which sits 4th nationally. Isabula's dominance on the boards helped Charleston have the highest scoring margin in the CAA. Towson's India Johnston's off-the-bench dominance, earning her 6th Player of the Year. Talk about a spark plug. The fourth-year guard averaged 15.8 points in 30 appearances. Johnston scoring at a high clip with at least 20 points in 7 games, plus dropping 30 or more twice. From court to classroom, William & Mary's Cassidy Geddes tabbed Scholar Athlete of the Year. An all-CAA second-team honoree for the second straight season, the junior guard pacing her team and scoring with 13.6 points per game. Off the court, the finance major maintained a 3.92 GPA. Charleston head coach Robin Harmony collecting her first CAA Coach of the Year honor. Harmony led the Cougars to a 24-5 record and a CAA regular season title. With a 70-64 victory over North Carolina A&T on the final day of the regular season, she also won her 119th game at Charleston to become the winningest head coach in program history. This year's recipient of the Dean Ehlers Leadership Award is Drexel's Grace O'Neal. Serving as a team captain since 2024, O'Neal has been a leader on the court and in her community. The senior has successfully raised $46,000 for Special Olympics this year, all while maintaining a 3.9 GPA in finance. Putting a bow on our major award winners is Player of the Year Taryn Barbeau. 1 year after becoming the program's first CAA Player of the Year, Barbeau goes back to back. The junior guard producing one of the most well-rounded stat lines in the conference, pacing the CAA with 19.4 points per game while grabbing 5.3 rebounds and 3.3 assists. Loaded talent all across the board in CAA women's hoops. Stay tuned on CAA Sports social media all week long for coverage of the Credit Union 1 CAA Women's Basketball Championship.
At Hofstra University, you make it happen. In the classroom, on the court, and on the stage. At Hofstra, you'll be a part of a prestigious R2 Research Institute, a championship Division I athletics program, and one of the top-ranked universities on Long Island. Our journeys meet here, yours and Hofstra's, united in success. Discover what you can make happen at Hofstra. Learn more at hofstra.edu.
Click, clack, the sound of disruption. It settles in. Controlled. Precise. Click, clack, the sound changes direction. But there's no crash, just separation. And every time you hear it, something ends for you and starts for us. Click, clack. It's no longer just a sound. It's a warning.
are the official host for the nation's capital. We are all things sports. From captivating culinary to celebrating legends and so much more. We are Events DC.
Let's go bigger, I'm that killer. Coming in hot, make you jump like a thriller.
World-class people delivering world-class events. Events DC.
Campbell University is beyond education. It's a transformational journey. This isn't just college. It's where purpose finds you. Where your calling isn't a question, it's a launch pad. Because at Campbell, we don't just learn. We lead, we serve, we show up. Campbell University, make it matter.
Halftime of our quarterfinal Credit Union 1 CAA Women's Basketball Championship at the CareFirst Arena, Washington, D.C. Perhaps an upset in the air. 20 minutes in, 10-seeded Hofstra leading number 2 seed Campbell. I'm Matt Janis with Christine Motto. We'll hear from Amanda Poole coming up in a little bit. But Christine, as we look at how the first half unfolded through the highlights, it was Campbell looking good early. They really had some balance out there.
Yeah, I think they were sharing the ball really, really well. A combination of getting to the rim, the high-low passes, playing inside out, and they were doing those things early. Everybody was getting involved, and they were really sharing the basketball. And then when they started getting into some trouble was when they were trying to do some of those handoffs and nothing was going late in the shot clock. But you see when they were spreading out that defense and then taking those opportunities to get to the rim, and then they were able to get to the free throw line a little bit as well.
Kanate and Alexander were a factor inside, and the ball movement pretty impressive from the Campbells. That opposite look to set up Emerson Thompson off the bench, but that was kind of the high water mark for Campbell. Their offense struggled down the stretch. Meanwhile, Hofstra turned it around behind Alarise Gooden.
Yeah, I thought she was phenomenal in the first half. She really was making things happen. She was taking what the defense gave her, whether it was the outside shot if she was getting sloughed up on, or she was getting into the rim. She was working her way through and getting some really, really tough shots. But I think it was her outside shooting that really propelled Hofstra to spread out the offense and stretch that Campbell defense.
Funny how that works. Only a 25% three-point shooter during the regular season, but you wipe the slate clean come March, and big players make big shots like Chloe Sterling at the buzzer.
Yeah, you just knew. So we didn't know if she knew the shot clock. She's like, wait a minute, everybody, calm down. I know exactly what I'm doing. Timed it out perfectly.
There was some announcers say, you better go, you better hurry, and Sterling said, I have it to a T. As Hofstra has a 5-point lead at the break, 20 minutes away from pulling off yet another upset on this stage. A beautiful night in Washington, D.C. We'll see if Hofstra can continue their beautiful play when we return. Halftime in our nation's capital. Hofstra leading 25-20. Time for tonight's Air Force Reserve. Ready for more first half stats.
Well, when you look at everything, it looks pretty similar in some categories except the shooting percentages. Hofstra just shooting much, much better. Actually shot 50% in the second quarter. And Campbell we thought they needed to knock down a few threes, only shooting about 16% from the three. Everything else pretty even. Turnovers, rebounds, things like that. But that's where Hofstra has the edge. Really, the basketball is just going in a few more times for the Pride.
And Campbell did not make a field goal. Final 7 minutes of that first half. That's the Air Force first half stats. Ready for more? Join the Air Force Reserve. Learn more at airforce.com. Let's hear for the third member of our crew, Amanda Poole, who caught up with both head coaches. Momentarily, we'll hear from Amanda as she gathers the thoughts of those that are trying to make the adjustments at the half. Sometimes the coaches take a little bit longer to get with Amanda than is on our schedule. But 25-20, Hofstra leads. Winner of this one will take on the winner of our next game, as it will be Drexel against Elon coming up next. The Pride looking to pull off a second consecutive upset in this game as they beat Towson last night. A thriller. Emma Von Essen, a three with 2.5 seconds to go that proved to the difference in that contest. And then the defense, so far the reason why the Pride have a lead in this first half. All right, Amanda has caught up with both coaches. Let's hear from her.
Don't worry, I got you guys. Talking with head coach for Hofstra, Danielle Santos-Atkinson, she said that she likes the tempo and the pace that her team is playing with right now, but she'd like to see them rebound a little bit better, not allowing Campbell to get those offensive rebounds and those second chance points opportunities, but also like to see the Pride get to the free throw line more in the second half and limit turnovers. Now for Campbell, head coach Ronnie Fisher says the offense has been too stagnant. Campbell's looking to move more and throw in some screens to get players open and available. Defensively, he thinks they're getting the job done, but they could be a little bit more aggressive.
Great stuff, Amanda. I know you agree with what Ronnie Fisher had to say there. A lot of standing around for Campbell late in that second quarter.
Yeah, there was a big difference in the first quarter and the second quarter. Trying to get the handoffs, but not turning the corner and making something happen. Got to penetrate those gaps and play that inside-out game.
After 20 minutes away from pulling off another stunner, they start the second half with a basketball and the lead. Sterling on the drive, got two defenders in the air. Magaligo couldn't catch the pass as she was wide open. Still 8 to shoot as Sterling wants to go on Felton, got it blocked, and out of bounds off of Campbell. It'll stay with Hofstra, 3 to shoot.
Yeah, I like the way Sterling was trying to get in there. I mean, she was assessing what the defense was giving her, but still able to keep the possession alive. Let's see what they can do.
Pride, we're talking about a play here as they throw it into Gooden. Not a bad option, but she can't convert. Magaligo hustling, but faster to the loose ball was Boone.
Haven't seen a ton of transition for the Campbells, but they can push the basketball in transition.
Beg your pardon, that was actually Felton who cut in front of Boone. Both were chasing after that loose ball. Backdoor cut, that's Boone for the layup.
See, that was pretty tricky there because Boone was coming to her left, going towards the left side of the floor, throws it back, but then acts like she's going to cut to the left, but comes back to the ball, so her defender had already jumped.
And then she rips it away, the steal the other direction.
Sometimes it's just little misdirection things that can get your defender on their heels.
And sometimes it's your seniors that can get you going, although the missed shot from Tucker, and the rebound goes to Gooden. Gooden, as they stop ball, kicks it out to Kareem, who hits the three.
And that's great that she hit that because Carter was open on the other side. I thought she was going to act like she was going to the right and then go to Carter, but what do I know? Kareem knocking it down.
95 of her 153 field goal attempts this year have been from deep, and she hits yet another for Hofstra to get the lead up to 6. Felton stopping on a dime, spinning back to the center. Is Tucker able to knock the jumper down?
Yeah, good job by Tucker to keep that pivot foot, and then when she comes back, square up to the basket, not off balance on that shot at all.
Well, Felton was going to come get it in the lane. Instead, Tucker just doing it herself. As is Gooden, but unable to convert. And a rebound goes to Canate.
Now we're starting to see a little bit Hofstra what happened yesterday. Getting inside, getting those shots near the rim, but not finishing.
Felton fortunate to get away with that one. She telegraphed it to Sterling. As we go back to that last three from Kareem.
Yeah, I thought Gooden was going to look her up and go to the left, but instead she goes to Kareem in the right, and Kareem stepping into it, ready to shoot because she had her hands up. As a receiver of the ball, you always want to have your hands up and give a target for the passer.
She played on the Portuguese youth national team last couple of years, and the Hofstra coaching staff said really found her confidence this time around in the summer. She returned a different player in late August. Boone able to drive through contact and finish the runner.
That was just a great battle between Boone and Gooden there. She was trying to tempt her and entice her to take the shot, and Boone said, no, I'm putting the ball on the ground, and Gooden had it the whole time and then just went down. A lot of contact there, but no call.
Gooden off the bounce, going baseline, the reverse layup.
This has been a nice battle. Boone scores at the one end, and Gooden scores at the other. They're kind of going back and forth here.
And all of a sudden, after neither team could make a bucket late in that first half, it's baskets left and right to start the second. The pick in the pocket, Magalico the takeaway. Carter rewards her running the floor.
That's just a great job by Hofstra. We saw how much the on-the-ball defense, see the adjustment they made on the handoffs there? Jumping the ball. Anytime you jump towards the ball, and you have to be ready to close out on your player as soon as they receive the basketball. See what Carter's doing? She's going on top of the screen.
Canate, though, goes right by her for the layup.
And Mogalico was hedging too hard, and she slipped. Very high IQ play there.
That time got caught cheating a tad too much to get momentum back for Campbell. They'll take a timeout to try to make an adjustment. Hofstra's defense turning into offense. Pride up 4, 3.5 into the third. Credit Union 1 CAA Women's Basketball Championship quarterfinal round. Second seeded Campbell was down 5 at the half. They're within 4 with 6:21 to go in the third. They just got a bucket, but Ronnie Fisher called a timeout. What do you think he wanted to talk about with his team?
I really think it's about valuing the basketball. We've seen a couple mishandles. Now turnovers up to 10 for Campbell. They really need to limit those turnovers down the stretch, especially when you're trying to close that gap.
Campbell team that had some ebbs and flows this season, but really came together down the stretch. A hard-working group that has played together all year long. Now trying to come from behind with 6 minutes to go in the third. Von Essen, yesterday's hero, able to hit and put the Pride back up 6.
You don't see her go all the way to the rim very often, but she did a great job of stop and pop. Saw the defense was back on the heels there and just went right up off the jump stop.
Stumbling, but keeping the dribble alive, Navarre. I wonder if you heard the Harlem Globetrotters music in her head as she made that play. Inside to Karate, kicks it out, high arcing three, a little too deep that time from Tucker, who hung her head a little in frustration and was fortunate that the airmailed feed doesn't cost her the other way.
It was a great weak side rebound by Kareem, but even if that pass was right in Gooden's hand, that was going to be really hard for her to catch and have to get to the rim. Her defender was right on top of her. That was going to be threading the needle for sure.
See that reaction though from Tucker? That was some visible frustration. Sophomore who has played with so much confidence down the stretch. Ronnie Fisher said she was a little rattled offensively early this season, but they kept telling her, you're our go-to. As a foul against the Pride, Navarre doing a good job to stay physical in the high post and draw that contact.
Well, I thought she kind of got bailed out there because she crossed over into the double, and I think Sterling bailed her out. If she would have just kept her hands back, like she did exactly what you wanted her to do.
Chloe Sterling will get a well-deserved break. Remember, fresh legs for Campbell after playing its second game in a span of 24 hours. So how will they wear down the stretch? That's something you got to keep an eye on if you're the Hofstra staff.
And not only a second game, but a really hard game, a really competitive and putting out a lot of energy kind of game.
Boone to the crossover, now to the spin, can't get the defender in the air, swatted away! Magaliko this block, and it starts the break. She can't catch the pass as Kareem, again too tall, turns it over. And a turnover is starting to mount for both teams. Hofstra, yesterday's reason they're here today. Emma Von Essen trying to pick up where she left off as Hofstra ahead by her.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the Coastal Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking,
and an expansive surcharge-free network of 130,000 ATMs from coast to coast.
Discover better banking for all at cu1.com.
Unlock your career potential with the Cameron School of Business at UNCW. Our flexible graduate programs offer rolling admissions, applied learning opportunities, and tailored career support. Whether you're interested in our master's program in business analytics, finance, supply chain management, accountancy, computer science and information systems, or our highly regarded MBA program, we have the right degree for you. Apply today.
Join us for Jersey Mike's annual Day of Giving on March 25th, where 100% of sales will be donated to support Special Olympics athletes.
It's a great way to support the athletes. Like me. It's basically like doing this. Or this.
And all you have to do is get a sub, like this guy. Join us March 25th for Jersey Mike's annual Day of Giving.
Okay.
Be a sub above.
Some make it their main career. Some give a weekend a month. All we need are the moments. In the Air Force, how you serve is more important than how much you serve. You always get more out than what you put in. Full-time, part-time, in or out of uniform. How many moments can you give?
Welcome back to the Credit Union 1 CAA Women's Basketball Championship. Hofstra's leading scorer this season in Chloe Sterling is soaking up every minute of the March Madness. Last year, the senior was sidelined with injury during March and wasn't able to compete for the Pride in this tournament. Now with 7 points today. She's coming off a 17-point performance yesterday in their second round win, including 7 assists. She's a playmaker and a scorer for this team. And talking with her after that win yesterday, she said that it has been a blessing to be able to be on the court this year. She said even just getting out there and warming up with the team, knowing she's going to get to play and not have to sit at the end of the bench this time around, gets her so excited, and she's glad to go to war with this team.
Such great stuff, Amanda, and it's so true. You watch her over there on pregame warm-ups, and she's just kind of looking around, soaking up the atmosphere as the walk. Navarre could not hold the pivot as she tried to create near the rim, and another Campbell turnover.
And especially coming out of that break, you want to execute really well. Coaches, when they get a timeout and they draw something up, you want to see your team go out and execute it, not turn it over.
Pride up 6, 4 1/4 remaining in the third. Looking for another bracket-rocking upset. It's been their specialty. Von Essen, another three.
From the same exact spot that she shot it yesterday to win the game. Don't let her catch it in that spot. It's Hofstra magic.
Too far out in front, and the steal. Von Essen, Johnny on the spot, inside, and the leave. And a good decision there by Magaligo not to force it. Hofstra will reset.
And Campbell has to be careful here. Starting to see some separation between Hofstra. If Hofstra can convert here, Campbell really needs to stop.
Try to stretch the lead to double digits. Neither team is led by that many all game long. Von Essen couldn't catch that one clean. Leaves it inside. Magaligo had it blocked from behind by Kanate.
I love the power dribble by Magalico, but what great recovery to get the block.
Stopping and popping. Tucker unable to convert. Garrett hustling down for the board. Pride so under control this week. They've run when the opportunities have been there, but they have not forced it.
And we saw them taking pretty good care of the basketball yesterday, pretty good care of the ball today. They're really doing a good job in their offensive sets, knowing when to push and when to settle.
Brown 5 to shoot, and a hand check call against the freshman Navarre. And Hofstra will get a fresh shot clock as a result. First team foul against Campbell in this third quarter.
This game has been really interesting because it just feels like you have to catch your breath because the players are playing so hard. They're pushing the ball up and down the floor. It's just that the points aren't converting as much on the scoreboard.
Gigi Boone comes back on for Campbell. See if she can calm the Camels down as Von Essen can't hit the jumper. Navarre goes down awkwardly and draws the foul as a result. She's okay. And the basketball back to the Camels.
Now, not that players don't play hard during the regular season, but we saw in the game before this one, the Monmouth-Stony Brook game, the amount of bodies that were diving for that basketball. And we're seeing the same thing here today because it feels a little bit different. That ball means so much more to just stay on and play one more day.
It's the finality of it. It just raises the intensity to that extra level. 15 to shoot. Boom. Trying to keep it going for Campbell. Into a double again. Somehow came out of it still with the ball. Found Navarre, who missed the three. Boone, the offensive board. Yes, and a foul. Gigi Boone.
Just a great job by Boone to stay with that. It really looked like Hodge was going to be able to. She blocked it the first time, and then watch how she tries to get the rebound, but Boone just stays with it. Look, looks like Hodge is going to get it, and then drops her arm kind of like a tomahawk. And Boone says, no, I'm going to get this and the and one for the free throw. Boone
just willing Campbell to the bucket that time. Can't convert it to strike, though. Hodge the rebound, so the deficit stays at 7. Oh, Carter a little late on that feed. Navarre knew exactly where Von Essen was.
Again, I love all the little games within the game. You know, you see these individual matchups going on and players going at it individually and then with the teams collectively.
Well, hottest part about Von Essen, this is her worst shooting season of her career by a pretty wide margin. Just 26% from deep, but she's got such a natural-looking stroke. And she finds it in a big spot last night. Starting to heat up a little here tonight. Carter, 6 to shoot. Wants to go off the bounce. Taking Boone and getting the foul.
It was the second crossover that got her just free enough. You know, as a defender, you're trying to anticipate which way, the player is going to go. But watch what she does here. She crosses over to left and right back to the right to explode and get a step, and nothing more you can do than try to block that shot, and Carter getting to the free throw line yet again.
That facial expression from Michaela Carter says it all. The Pride are starting to believe. Up 8 with under 2 to go in the third. Still a long way from home, but you could sense in the celebration yesterday they were very excited to get the win. But it didn't feel like the end. It felt like they thought they still had more left in them.
Well, there's players on this team that have won a few games in this tournament before, so there's that history. Not that last year means anything to this year, but it does psychologically. When you know that your school's starting to get known for these types of runs, and then you hear what Coach Santos Atkinson said in the locker room yesterday about the belief. You know, all you need to do is win. You might lose 9 games out of 10. You just got to win that one.
A 3 for the outside, off the mark from Boone, or excuse me, from Felton. The weak side rebound goes to Hofstra. Von Essen, the step back, got that one blocked. Navarre, though, had it deflect right to Hodge. And a drive as a result for Sterling off the mark. And finally, Campbell able to chase down the loose ball. Excellent hustle from Felton.
I think Campbell needs a good possession here. Oh.
That was not what they had in mind. Unable to get on the same page, and an unforced error as Ronnie Fisher continues to see his team uncharacteristically out of kilter.
Well, Hadley Dill was kind of the trailer there because she got hit in the face down low, so she was making her way back, and then just the pass way behind her.
Von Essen got herself free, in and out, and an excellent rebound from Navarre.
Good patience there, though, by Hofstra.
Felton thought about the attack, didn't have the opportunity. Tucker on the reversal, able to convert.
That was a high level of difficulty shot. Tucker was floating to her right, but was able to get a nice high arc on it. Sometimes when players are floating, the ball starts to float with you.
And they got a 2-for-1 out of it as well, because you end up with an 11-second differential, so Campbell should get it back one more time.
It'd be big for their momentum if they can get a stop here.
Deficit down to 7. Carter directing traffic with 8 to shoot. Kareem hit one in this third quarter. Carter hit 3 yesterday to the drive. And a little too deep. That's a shot clock violation, as I don't think it hit the rim. Hold on here.
It didn't look like it hit the rim from here, but this is going to be a conversation.
So question 1, did it hit the rim? And then if it did, who did it go out of bounds off of? And it looks like the answer is it did hit the rim, and it went out of bounds off the Camels.
Well, that was 0 for 2 then for the Camels.
Or are they saying it went out of bounds before the shot clock expired? Because now the officials going over to the scores table.
So either they'll put a little bit of time back on the shot clock, or the shot clock will be off.
There it is, shot clock violation. We had it, and they got it.
Well, you know, we're sitting here discussing, try calling it in real time. I mean, it's not easy, not an easy job.
They just barely missed the rim, so Campbell a chance to get it back to 2 possessions going into the fourth quarter. Navarre looking to create. Cross-court feed to Tucker. Has to get it up at the buzzer. Off the mark. And the deficit remains 7 for the second-seeded Campbell Camels. A 20-win regular season. But 10 minutes left to get it together as Hofstra has visions of another upset. Ahead by 7, headed to the fourth. The Credit Union 1 CAA Women's Basketball Championship is brought to you by Air Force Reserve. Stay local, serve global in the Air Force Reserve. Visit airforce.com. By UNCW's Campbell School of Business, providing students with the business education they need to succeed. Visit uncw.edu/CSB. And by soldout.com, the official ticket resale marketplace of the CAA. The always busy metro stations bringing the fans here to the Care First Arena, where the Hofstra faithful have had plenty to cheer about. An upset yesterday and 10 minutes away from an even bigger surprise, up 7 on second-seeded Campbell as we start the fourth quarter.
I think it's going to be really important for Campbell to get off to a good start in this fourth quarter. They've been outscored by 9 since the first quarter.
6 to shoot. Navarre looking to create off the spin. A tough shot. Can't finish. Followed it. And then falling down was Sterling. It's loose. And look at that hustle as the possession arrow belongs to the Pride.
You know, it's been a little telling for Campbell. You know, they only have 6 team assists and nobody in double figures. And it seems like lately some of the possessions are trying to go one-on-one opportunities or penetrate to the rim. But they need to move the ball, work the ball around, work that offensive clock. There's still plenty of time to work for a good shot.
Campbell picks up full court man-to-man defense here. Kareem comes to set the ball screen and then almost says, "Excuse me," to the official. 10 to shoot is good and gets it here. The big first half. Ball screen comes, turns the corner. Dealing with the size of Kanate. It leads to a deflection and a shot clock violation.
That was just a great job by Kanate to get on that basketball. It looked like Mogaliko was going to be able to get that ball and do something with it, but Kanate basically boxed her out and got to it first.
The size battle inside has been so much fun to watch in this game. Mogaliko in the center of everything for the Pride, while the combination of Kanate and Sierra Alexander in there for Campbell. It's Kanate posting up right now, but a double along the perimeter. Tucker doesn't have any time to look for it.
Hofstra needs to have a good balance of that aggressiveness, but don't foul, especially this late in the shot clock.
3 to shoot. Tucker flips one up and draws the whistle. Olivia Tucker going to the strike.
Good recognition by Tucker to have to get to the rim as the shot clock was winding down. But for Hofstra, again, another possession where they play 28 seconds of really good defense, and then you bail your opponent out.
So here's Olivia Tucker, the sophomore out of Durham, North Carolina. Really struggled at the free throw line in non-conference play. Was hovering around 60%. They tried to build back her confidence, and it worked. She has missed just 2 free throws in CAA play all season long. And Tucker's such a good shooter out there. Ronnie Fisher says when you watch her shoot, it is a thing of beauty. But the broadcaster's jinx is stronger than even her beautiful form.
It never fails, Matt.
6-point Campbell deficit. Hofstra with the ball. You see the Campbells trying to pick up the intensity. Mogaliko can't finish at the rim, and the rebound goes to the Campbells.
That's the stop that the Camels needed. Let's see if they can produce here on the offensive end.
Good board from Felton. Navarre, the CAA Rookie of the Year, thought about this step back. Instead, it's going to be Felton driving into a double. And an errant feed. Kanate rushing things a little bit, got a deflection, so it will stay with the Camel.
I think they're fortunate about that. The turnovers starting to pile up a little bit.
Well, Kanate, a kid that was really raw offensively when she arrived on Campbell's campus. Ronnie Fisher said her work ethic, she's just willed herself into being an effective offensive threat. Navarre able to use the window as her natural ability shows off.
That's the Rookie of the Year, folks. I mean, that's the level of difficulty she's able to maintain that balance and kiss it off the glass.
Canate was an offensive project. Navarre arrived much more polished, to the words of Ronnie Fisher. Von Essen showing the senior creativity as she held her pivot and allowed her head coach to call a timeout to keep possession. Ronnie Fisher thought that she was dragging that pivot foot. He is imploring the officials that it should be his ball, but no dice. His team trailing by 4, 7:24 left in the fourth quarter.
Click, clack, the sound of disruption. It settles in. Controlled, precise. Click, clack, the sound changes direction. But there's no crash, just separation. And every time you hear it, something ends for you and starts for us. Click, clack. It's no longer just a sound. It's a warning.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the Coastal Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking,
and an expansive surcharge-free network of 130,000 ATMs from coast to coast.
Discover better banking for all at cu1.com.
Join us for Jersey Mike's annual Day of Giving on March 25th, where 100% of sales will be donated to support Special Olympics athletes.
It's a great way to support the athletes, like me. It's basically like doing this. Or this.
And all you have to do is get a sub, like this guy. Join us March 25th for Jersey Mike's annual Day of Giving.
Okay.
Be a sub above.
We are the official host for the nation's capital. We are all things sports. From captivating culinary to celebrating legends and so much more. We are Events DC.
Let's go bigger, I'm that killer. Coming in hot, make you jump like a thriller.
World-class people delivering world-class events. Events DC.
The Hofstra fans hoping the magic can continue. The Pride, the 10 seed, a 9-21 regular season. They won just 6 conference games during the campaign, but got a victory yesterday over Towson and now have a 4-point lead over second-seeded Campbell. Matt Janis with Christine Coramata, Amanda Poole here with us as well. Our entire Flo College crew. Winner of this one will take on the winner of our nightcap. Still one more game to go in our quarterfinal quadruple header, as it'll be third-seeded Drexel taking on 6th-seeded Elon when we're through. But a lot of work left in front of both of these teams.
I think this fourth quarter, the rest of the fourth quarter is going to come down to taking care of the basketball and getting stops.
Hoisting up a 3, Sterling! Foot on the line, 2 they'll say, but it's a 6-point cushion.
I think they're going to review that.
Miscommunication there. The Campbell defense, Ronnie Fisher, going to a couple of his players saying, what happened there? Both kind of just left a dangerous shooter in Chloe Sterling.
You know, she doesn't need a lot of space while running away from the basketball, and by the time you try to close out with your hand up, she's already got that ball up, and away.
So they will look to see whether the foot was on the line or not. Campbell at best down by 6. It could grow to 7 if those toes were behind the line. And you see the officials going frame by frame to see if it was a 2 or a 3. We'll take another peek.
It looked initially to me that her foot was on the line in real time, but my eyes aren't so good anymore. Ooh, closer than I thought it was.
I think you're going to be wrong again, Christine. You're not on fire here.
Again? What's this again?
We're going to have to keep a running tally next season. That is as close as it comes, though. I think a little bit of daylight between that big toe and the top of the line. It was called a 2 on the floor, though, so it's got to be conclusive that that foot was all the way behind.
Yeah, and it's hard when you're behind the shot. That is really about as close, because sometimes even the tip of the sneaker, like the bottom opening on the front of your foot, on your shoe, and then it lifts. I don't know. That's why they get paid the big bucks over there.
Well, we root for nothing. We just want a good game. But right now, I got to be honest, after I ran my mouth, I kind of wouldn't mind this call being overturned. You'd have to eat some crow if your eyes ended up being accurate. As Danielle Santos-Atkinson continues to talk to her team. Just a phenomenal job that she has been able to do. And you might ask, she won 9 games. How good a job could it have been? Well, moving pieces. So it is a 2-point shot. You were right. Take that one off the record in terms of wrong.
Again, right? Quote unquote, again.
Oh, my. But so for Danielle Santos-Atkinson, dealing with all the injuries, all the moving parts, trying to mold experience with young pieces, and a bunch of newcomers, even though they're older players, newcomers that didn't get a lot of time practicing together. You add in going more than a month without a win, and yet they stayed together.
You know, being around basketball for a long time, doing a great coaching job is not always the amount of wins you have. There's a lot more that goes into it.
We're wide open off the screen was Tucker, but they were late getting her the basketball, allowed the defense to close out. Awkward handle from Kanate, and then a reach-in foul is called against the Pride. Doreen picking up the personal, her second, only the second team foul on Hofstra.
And it's always intriguing when the fourth quarter starts to look up at the team fouls. You know, Campbell has not committed a foul yet in the fourth quarter. Hofstra has 2 team fouls. This always comes into play in a close game towards the end, because sometimes you need to foul in a hurry and you want to have those team fouls accumulated, and other times you don't want to give your opponent a chance.
Wide open off the inbound. Tucker short with the 3. Boone battling for the offensive board. It ends up with Kanate, who grabs it again but fell down. And a basketball back to Hofstra on the travel.
Yeah, she almost had that ball off. It's kind of like when you make the play for football, and if the shin or the knee goes down as well, then you're inbounds. It's kind of looked like that. Look, if she gets the ball off right there, her knee hits before she's able to get that ball off. Split second more, and it would not have been a travel.
Garrett got the mismatch on the switch, but the rejection. Kanate got a piece or altered. Either way, it starts the break. Tucker in and out. There is a lid on it for Campbell.
Yeah, the stop and pop, and I think she stopped and didn't go all the way to the rim because she started seeing some black jerseys coming off the side of her eye, but also that means you didn't have any rebounders to help you if the ball didn't go in the basket.
The Campbell offense that has been so efficient most of the season. 34% for the field overall. 11% from 3. Carter comes to the basketball for Hofstra. 5 to shoot for the Pride. Garrett gonna have to create again, dealing with a shot blocker, and she alters another as a miss from in tight.
Both of those had everything but the finish.
Felton cut off as she tried to go baseline. Kanate, the floater, banking home.
Great recognition by Kanate there. Hodge she closed out too high. She went flying, didn't break down, and Kanate just took the ball right to the rim.
All that, it's only a 4-point deficit for Campbell.
Kind of feels like the momentum is with the Camels right now.
Garrett trying to snatch it back for Hofstra, got bumped into and knocked down by Kanate.
A little awkward there. She was trying to spin back and their legs got tangled up.
Only the first foul of Kanate. All those shots that she has blocked or altered inside, and she placed almost 20 minutes without picking up a single personal.
Well, that talks about the discipline on the defensive end, because a lot of times everybody wants to jump. It's your instinct to jump. When you just hold your ground and arms straight up, then you can affect a lot of shots. You don't have to block a shot to affect a shot.
Saw how gassed she was coming over to the sideline. She needed a moment. As Ronnie Fisher was talking to her, she bent down and used the scorer's table to provide a little rest. Von Essen will check in for Hofstra. She gets it, catch and shoot, and banks in the three!
I don't know if she called that, but talk about a kiss off the glass. That's one of the hardest shots in basketball to make. Using the glass when you're closer to the baseline. My goodness, Von Essen, she really does have that magic touch.
7-point cushion for the Pride, under 5 minutes to go. Felton gonna fire one up, and Felton, the answer for Campbell.
Yeah, it just felt like Campbell had the momentum here in the fourth quarter. Then Von Essen makes that three, and you're like, okay, Hofstra's gonna start to take control again, but here comes Felton, and anything you can do, I can do better. Knocks down that three.
Campbell showing the resilience that made them a 20-win team during this season. Sterling with Tucker on her, passes up to Von Essen, lobbing it inside. Magaliko puts it up as the shot clock expires. Tucker had it knocked away, but it's chased down by Navarre. Looking to attack and willing her way to the free throw line.
You know, it's almost like Von Essen sets everybody up because you think she's going to make that step back, and then with that kiss off the glass, my goodness, and Felton says, okay, we're doing a little three-point shooting contest. I'm going to go 1 for 1 here just like you. But with Von Essen, because she hit that step back yesterday and everybody saw the shot, every time she flares, the defenses are going flying at her. They're not breaking down and closing out. They're flailing after her, so she's able to then put the ball on the floor and move and relocate.
2 big free throws from Jasmine Navarre, and Campbell within 2.
This is what it's all about right here. Live to play another day.
Campbell crowd trying to get involved as Von Essen dribbling along the perimeter. Got the switch she was looking for. 7 on the timer. Sterling stripped all the way up. Tucker the takeaway.
That's just great hands, playing straight up defense and picking your moment.
Kareem trying to rip that one free from Navarre. Excellent strength from the rookie to hold possession for Campbell.
Kareem's got to make sure she doesn't foul here. She does use her body a little bit playing defense. You don't want to pick up an unnecessary foul.
Navarre got stuck, kicked it out to Alexander. Boone comes to get the basketball, 5 to get one off, back to Alexander. Kareem got a piece, Alexander beats the buzzer, and we've got a tie game.
What a swing for Campbell, and they're doing it by getting stops on the defensive end.
Campbell crowd is loving it as Hofstra takes a timeout. Look at the persistence from Alexander. Love to see it for the sophomore out of Atlanta, Christina, a kid that was in the starting lineup. As we mentioned, she was injured. They moved to the freshman Nal Kanate. Alexander returned, had to come off the bench. Ronnie Fisher was quick to point out she's still actually playing more minutes than Kanate, but everybody looks at that starter's role. He was impressed at the fact that Alexander was looking at what made the team best. And boy, did she come through at a big moment for the Camels here.
And we've seen that throughout the league a little bit. Not necessarily always having certain people start. You know, you look at Townsend, India Johnston, arguably their best player, one of the best scorers in the league, and she comes off the bench.
Well, right now it's a tie game. Hofstra needs something. Von Essen has been a hero off the bench this week for the Pride.
Campbell can be aggressive because they only have 1 team foul.
Again down to 7 on the timer. Sterling trying to create with the clock winding down, and a reach-in foul called against Boone.
I don't know about that one. That looked palms up to me and getting hands on the ball, and then when Sterling was going to pick up the ball, they were both going after it. I don't know about that one. That's a really tough call to make at this point in the game. I thought she had her hands on the basketball.
Oh, somebody was standing right there. Maybe a biased viewpoint, but Danielle Santos-Atkinson was trying to get that foul call, and she got it from the official. So fresh 20 for Hofstra. Still a tie game. Sterling into the lane. Can't get the roll, but got her own miss and then got knocked down. Again, only the 13th foul on Campbell, but it'll stay with the Pride.
Only the 13th foul, but 2 in about 20 seconds that they've picked up here. So now the fouls are even. So here you see getting to the rim, Sterling. That's what she did so well last night in the win, but she follows her own shot. And, I mean, that's a foul all the way. You can't displace the player like Alexander did.
How about the bigs of Campbell? Kanate had just picked up her first, and Alexander just got her first. As big and physical as they are, being disciplined. Well, Sterling somehow kept the dribble alive, goes baseline, lefty kiss wouldn't go. Alexander, another rebound.
I don't know how that didn't go in. It looked like she had everything, used the glass, squared up, and it just rolled right out.
What a game this has been. Winner goes to the semifinals. 2 minutes left, tied at 44. Tucker going baseline, lost it, out of bounds. Turnover gives it back to Hofstra.
A lot of defense we're seeing today. The game before, Monmouth Stony Brook, very low scoring. This game, very low scoring. Defense has really, taken the limelight here.
Not hard to figure out what month it is when you look at these two head coaches, Ronnie Fisher, Danielle Santos-Atkinson. Boy, do they want this. Kareem hits the three, and Hofstra takes the lead back.
Something about that spot over there, Matt. That's the Hofstra spot.
So now Campbell needs an answer. 82 seconds to go. It doesn't have to be a three, but they need to get momentum back. Boone finding Alexander. 10 to shoot. Extra feed. Navarre off the mark with the three. Offensive board, and the follow won't go for Felton. And this time Hofstra snatches the rebound.
Now you want to take your time. You want to use the shot clock. You have your timeouts left. You have 2 timeouts if you get into trouble.
You can take this all the way down to 38 seconds. 3-point lead for the Pride. Sterling dribbling away some clock. Carter comes to the basketball. Gooden to the jump stop, powering up, and Hofstra's up 5.
Wow. Ulrich Gooden. How did she get enough strength to get that up over the rim? Looked like she had nowhere to go. She gathered herself with the jump shot, regathered, and went up over the rim. She turns the corner. Watch here. She makes the crossover, sees enough space to start coming the other way. But this is the 3-point shot that really separated Hofstra there. That gave them the first lead in a while. But here's the shot we were just talking about. She comes down, Gooden sees it, jump stop, nowhere to go. Nope, create some contact, work for the shot, and the patience and strength to get it up over the rim.
And the old school mentality there, the jump stop, playing off 2 feet. You don't see it too much anymore, but it almost never goes wrong.
You see a lot of kids double clutching or trying to do these acrobatic in-air shots, but when you take a power dribble or you jump stop, you get power from your legs, and that's how, between the weight room and using those legs to elevate in your jump and get that shot up over the rim. My goodness, I don't know how Hofstra does it. They just keep coming back. The magic of Hofstra. Wow.
2 timeouts left for Campbell. Down by 5, 40 seconds to go. Need a quick one here. Still time for the Camels.
Yeah, you want to get quick possessions, quick scores. You don't need a 3, not yet.
Still to throw it in, gotta get it in, just barely did to Navarre. It has been a struggle from the field. Navarre elevates, misses the jump shot, good in the rebound, and the timeout called by the Hofstra coaching staff as Danielle Santos-Atkinson was on the other side of midcourt.
Every player was on the same page. That's great coaching, because in that last huddle, everyone knew. Did you see every player was saying timeout, timeout, timeout? They knew not to do that. They knew not to put the ball on the floor. Every player going timeout. That's how you know the communication is good and well.
Ronnie Fisher thought they did put the ball on the deck. He is frustrated. He's been boiling all second half long. His team up against it now. Down 5, 31 and 9 tenths to go. The reason that's so important, it allows Hofstra to advance the basketball, so they will throw it in the front court.
And you know, if Hofstra is able to pull this off, they would be the first 10 seed to ever make the semifinals. Unbelievable.
They were the first 13 seed to reach the quarterfinals, and now in position to become the first 10 seed to get to the semis. This program loves this month. Do they have enough to hold on? Campbell, a season's worth of work, down to 31 and 9/10 left in this quarterfinal round.
And that's what we were talking about before, the fouls. Now you look at the team fouls, both teams with 3 fouls. So Campbell has one to give, so they can be aggressive and try to go for the steal, and you're okay if you do foul, and then you want to foul because you need to stop the clock.
And you can't let too much come off here if you're the Camels, because 2 free throws would make it a 3-possession game. There's the first. As they foul Sterling. This is not who you want to foul now if you're Campbell. She is an 88% free throw shooter.
And now you start to see the strategy. Coach Fisher now making some substitutions for what he wants to accomplish on the defensive end here.
Carter comes on. She's 83% from the line. There's not a lot of great options. Kareem, small sample size, but she hovered around 50% during the regular season. That's probably your best bet. Or Garrett, who struggled, but instead it goes to Sterling, and Hofstra's best free throw shooter headed to the line with a chance to make this a 3-possession lead.
Now the positive thing for the Camels is barely any time came off during this possession, so if they can get a rebound, if Sterling were to miss on that second shot, then they can hurry up and go down. Now you are starting to look at 3-point shots if you're Campbell.
Officials confer just to make sure clock is right. Every 10th of a tick matters now.
I'll tell you what, if Sterling can make both of these, then you turn it into a 3-possession game.
Chloe Sterling, the senior, Kennesaw, Georgia, said she was blessed just to get to take this stage and gets the lead to 6.
Talk about ice in your veins. Stepping right up and taking the shot.
One more, the transfer at a JMU. Missed almost all of last season due to injury. Healthy now and gets the lead to 3 possessions for Hofstra.
What confidence stepping up to the line like that. And, you know, in some ways, Hofstra has nothing to lose. Coming into today, it's like, you know, we said no 10 seed has ever done this, so you can play a little looser. When you're those, you know, top seeds and you haven't played a game yet, you know, it is a reward that you get the rest, but sometimes the teams that have a game under their belt have already kind of worked out some of the kinks. They have that momentum going, and it takes some of the better seeds some time to settle in.
Momentum almost feels more like magic, what's happening right now for this Hofstra team. The step-back 3 yesterday from Emma Von Essen, with 2.5 seconds to go from down 2 to up 1. Hofstra wanted to play for the win. They drew up the play for Von Essen, and she came through. And now today, they have led the entire way in this second half outside of one spot where Campbell was able to draw even, and Hofstra found an immediate response.
And you talk about that magic when the game was tied and then Kareem came down in the same spot Von Essen hit yesterday to give them that lead, that 3-point lead.
And it's been a 7-0 run since the game was tied at 44. Good drawn up play. Frees Tucker, who hits the 3, and Campbell's not done yet.
Executed to perfection.
Inbound goes to Sterling. She is fouled with 24 and 4/10 left.
Just perfectly executed by the Camels. They're giving themselves a chance, and then Hofstra doing the right thing of getting Sterling the ball. Look at this. And you have the help. Magaliko starts to come over in case she goes to the rim, but you need the 3, and really, really good focus and patience there by Tucker.
The bad news for Campbell, they're 4 for 21 today from 3. The good news is they've made 2 of their last 3, so maybe it's starting to change, and Sterling misses the first. There's one timeout remaining for Campbell. They were over on the sideline getting instruction from Ronnie Fisher, so we'll see if they take it here or keep it in their back pocket. Lead is 5. Not going to use the timeout on this one. Navarre going to the bucket. Kicks it out. Felton, extra feed. Tucker, she's feeling it, but misses the 3. Timeout, Kareem. Oh, that one looked so good out of Tucker's hands.
I think the awareness that Hofstra has right now, when you talk about synergy and chemistry, everyone knows to call that timeout. But here, another okay possession here. I mean, Navarre realizes she wants to kick it back out, making the extra pass. Tucker from a similar spot, a little bit further out. It looked good when it left her hand. And then Kareem gets the rebound. And what is every single Hofstra player saying timeout. They all know what the expectation is. They all are listening in that huddle, and they know what they're supposed to do.
That was right on line with us.
Yep.
We had the view. You saw it was headed towards the bottom of the tim, but as you said, Hofstra forced her just an extra step out, and maybe that's what caused the shot to be a tad strong.
Yeah, there was a hand up there, and Tucker did a great job of getting the ball off. It looked good, and then Kareem able to get that rebound. So now it's going to become a free throw shooting contest. If Hofstra can inbound this basketball again to Sterling, which is what they want to do because she's already made 3 out of 4 of her last 4 at least, and then get her back to the line to make it at least a 6 or 7 point game.
Yeah, Hofstra is completely in control of its own destiny. If they do not turn the basketball over and make free throws, Campbell can't catch them. They have 1 timeout remaining. Possession arrow does belong to the Camels. Hofstra, keep in mind, has a foul to give if they were need to use it. Von Essen catches the inbound, and she has missed just once all season long. Her first trip today with a chance to all but ice it with 12 5/10 remaining. And that unfortunate for Campbell as Tucker has just fouled out of the game, and that's not who you wanted to give that foul if you're Campbell, but didn't really have time to be selective with so little seconds remaining.
And no other player has more than 2. So it is a shame that it's Tucker because she hit that 3 and she's not the one to foul.
Von Essen misses the first, so it'll be 2 possessions no matter what. These games are so hard to close out in this month. 6-point lead. Campbell will take its last time out to advance the ball.
So now the game's going to play itself out. There's no more stoppages unless there's a foul, no more talking it over. So for coaches in this moment, you have to get out everything you need to get out. If this happens this, if this happens that. Obviously, there'll be free throws coming at some point, so there will be stoppages where you can yell those instructions, but making sure everyone knows exactly what they need to do, this or this, is something that these coaches are talking about right now.
It's such a tough thing because it's a balancing act for the coach. He wants to go over every situation, make sure they understand, but these are human beings, not robots out there, so you don't want to overcomplicate it and get them thinking about too much stuff.
It's being clear and concise. It's communicating things to understand them in the moment. So, for Hofstra, again, it's just getting the ball inbounds, taking care of it. For Campbell, it's getting a 3-point shot at this point. It's 2 possessions, 6-point deficit. You have to shoot threes. For Hofstra, you're letting Campbell take it too. You're coming together and switching at the 3-point line. So this is when you want to come shoulder to shoulder if it's a screen that way or a handoff or anything. I think you're going to see a flare screen probably from Campbell. So you just have to help. Again, the only thing that matters is that 3-point line. Give up a layup if you need to.
So the last timeout for Campbell concludes. The Camels need something in the neighborhood of miraculous. Down 6, 12 5/10 to go. A 20-win regular season, 13 5 in the conference. But a bad shooting night on a bad day. Inbound to Navarre, hoists up a 3, hits it, and it's not done yet. 1 possession game. Inbound to Gooden, she is fouled, and Gooden will have 2 opportunities to get the lead to 2 possessions.
And when you're breaking it down, worst case scenario, if you're Hofstra, you just need to make one. You need to push it back up to 2 possessions because we've seen crazy things happen. And here, Navarre taking advantage of what the defense gave. You see the flare screen they were trying to get, it wasn't there. So she just made sure, see her looking down, making sure she got her feet behind the line.
Gordon makes it a 2-possession lead for the Pride with 6 7/10 left. Five-point deficit for the Camels. Boone, step back, short, and Hofstra does it again. Another upset for the Pride. For the first time ever, the 10 seed is headed to the semifinals.
Something about that Hofstra magic. Von Essen last night, and then Kareem from the same spot in the 4th quarter to give Hofstra the lead, and they never looked back. Wow.
Incredible. Time now for tonight's Jersey Mike's Sub Above Play of the Game. Gooden off 2 feet, the jump stop, and the critical finish as the Pride made the plays down the stretch. That got the lead to 2 possessions, and is tonight's Jersey Mike's Sub Above Play of the Game. Amanda Poole is standing by with Alarise Gooden.
Thank you guys. You guys survived and advanced the name of the game. How'd you get it done?
We stayed together as a team. When adversity hit us, we knew what we had to do. We knew we had to play defense on a talented Campbell team, and we knew we had to hit shots offensively. So I'm team in tight stretches of the game.
You've been with Hofstra for 4 years, and you were part of that 2024 team. That was the first 13th seed to make it to the quarterfinals. Now you're part of a team, the first 10 seed to make it to the semifinals. What is it about Hofstra in March?
I don't know, like the odds are always in our favor in March, and that's why it's called March Madness for a reason. And it's just coming together for us at the right time. And I'm just happy I'm doing it with this group of girls, so it's really an awesome feeling.
A lot of losses earlier this season came down to 1 or 2 possessions, but you guys have been able not to quit, not give up. What's motivated you this season?
We're learning from those mistakes that we made. We had a really close game with a really good St. John's team, a really close game with the Elon team. I could mention so much other close games with so many other talented teams, but we're learning from them, and they're coming to fruition right now at the right time.
Mindset headed into tomorrow.
Win. Keep the momentum rolling. Yeah.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
Great stuff, Amanda. You can't say it any better than that. Alarise Gooden, who has been through so much in her career, is not done yet. The Pride will take on the winner of our 4th and final quarterfinal coming up next. It'll be Elon and Drexel. We'll get started about a half hour from now. Another thriller in the CAA, the Credit Union One CAA Women's Basketball Championship. It never ceases to deliver. For Amanda Poole and our entire Flo College crew, my partner Christine Coravada, I'm Matt Janis. Once again, the final score, Hofstra in an upset, beating Campbell 55-50. We're back for game number 4 a half hour from now.